Welcome back to the Divine Feminine Weekly Update. Yes, we do have this out in the Members Hub. If you want to get this content ahead of the crowd, please come through and join our YouTube membership with all the perks. Without further ado, let's have a look at this weekly update and what I see psychically, intuitively coming through for Divine Feminine. Okay, I'll move the microphone closer. Let's take a look at these cards. Now, I do feel there's a great deal of contemplation, and I don't know why I'm getting from the crowning energy. We'll jump into it. Literally like she's wishing upon a star. Now, it doesn't have to be a she. It is divine feminine energy after all. There's something of a... It's funny because this card breaks down to 11 in contemplation, in the ethers, in the intuition. There is something to do with your hopes and dreams and aspirations. And I feel, it's funny that we see the tiger here, it's the strength card almost in tarot. There are some very strong feelings, strong emotions. It's funny, I'm actually seeing on the other side, there is a lioness, and this could be a third party energy for some of you. I do feel that individual is at a distance. I do feel that individual is looking at you with envy and jealousy. And at times they do see you to be quite a dreamy individual. I don't know why I'm getting the painting, one of the paintings of Van Gogh, really coming through in the background of this this card, the blues and the what's called Starry Night. I think it's Starry Night. And I do feel there's a dream here that you're about to manifest. Interesting. Okay, you're needing to take a moment. I'm looking back to the main deck. You're needing to take a moment. I feel in the context of looking at this, I feel you're looking back to the past and you're like, okay, I need to pause. Potentially you were really requiring somebody to be quite consistent. I do feel divine feminine can be feeling the element of frustration. You're catching your breath and you do feel you've been in the thick of it. There might have been some quite heavy energy really with this eclipse, really with the frequency coming in. And I feel this consistency frequency. You're looking back and you're going, look, I tried to do the very best I could. Where I'm standing right now is a very different position to maybe what you've actually gone through previously. This is a real adult card in the heart space. And, it's like that wanting to play, wanting to dream, but also being really realistic. It's funny that the crowning energy is an 11. The reason why, in the spiritual connection 11, whenever I see it, there can be like a missing link. There is a brand new beginning. It's a little bit like the Fool card in tarot. You get the synchronicities. You might get the number synchronicities, but it also can be quite significant of a brand new chapter. And I feel for divine feminine, you also are moving into a brand new chapter in life, point blank zero. And so there's that uncertainty. There's this missing link to a degree. Now, it doesn't mean it's the other person. For some, it could feel that way. But again, this wish upon a star in the 11 is you're on the precipice. You could be in a little bit of lack mentality, because when we do see the 11, it's almost like it's assuring you that some of your ideas, some of your dreams, they are going to come to fruition. But, try to remove that lack mentality, which is perfectly normal to come up during the eclipse. Okay, so there could be this moment you're thinking, am I strong enough? Do I have the will to go on? Do I hope? Do I wish? Do I pray? And Jupiter is a very spiritual frequency. But again, it's fire, it's passion, it's desire. I'm looking at this individual here quite positively. It's asking you to tap into the dream state, but I'm seeing in the heart position here, you're like, I have no time to play. Now, that can be more the mature divine feminine, where it's not coming through in a bitter, resentful, angry way, but it's coming through more in a, I'm ready for a budding romance. I'm ready for the connection. I'm not willing to sell myself short. I'm not just going to go into a relationship for the sake of having a relationship. But it does feel, you can be sad to the fact that you can't be playful and loving and jokey. And it could be that something serious is happening. But it's through this revisiting of the inner child that divine feminine is going through that is giving her a rebirth. But she could be holding on to some old paradigm that feels safe to a degree, not permanently, for a moment. For some, the negativity can come through due to communication, a lack of, or something. Trying to find the bliss with or without communication has been a struggle. For some, it could be that the communication style within the joint connection is very difficult and misunderstood and misinterpreted. You're trying to change the cake. You're trying to change the outcome, but you're feeling this person is holding on to an old way of being. I feel that's your concern. You're like, look, if I keep doing this, some of you, I'm noticing from the past position, the clarifier that came out, and it was that difficult time you went through. And, at times when we are going through hard times, can we accidentally forget that maybe another person has a very private matter going on? We can. We're human. If that is the case, it may have caused conflict within the communication, within the connection, for those of you in communication. Those of you who are not in communication, this also can be through the ethers, because we can, in the separation stage, get these downloads through our direct vibration moving through in the 4D. So I feel some of you are catching yourself. You're like, it's catch 22. It's almost like, the conundrum maybe that a person's going through. You're trying very hard to articulate how you feel, what your needs are. Maybe it has been misunderstood. Maybe it's been, and it's caused some angst. Whatever this ending of a karmic cycle is, it may have landed during or moving into this eclipse, but I definitely feel something is wrapping up here. I'm getting like the third eye. It's almost like the headache. There's something of a karmic lesson here, though. It does not necessarily need to be for divine feminine. It could be for some. They're wanting you to go back into the ethers and remember a more calm spot. So if you physically either are completely in separation or physically in communication with this person, it's very topsy-turvy, go back, and I gave this tip to a fellow Patreon who I coach, and I said, what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and get into that stillness. And I want you to picture the highest vibration of where peace resides between the both of you. And anytime you feel your vibration off and it's causing anxiousness, I want you to go to that happy place. I want you to go to the detachment where everything is neutral, communication is flowing, but it's just peace. And it's closing your eyes, connecting with the sun. It's almost like two friends walking down a beach. Picture that. Okay. Now, it feels like, oh, God, there's deep reflection here. I always find it funny when, the cards are there and I'm looking at them and there is something that divine feminine is wanting that is more promised. Okay? There is this. My grandmother said this to me years ago. Some people will bring the best out in you. Some people will bring the worst. It doesn't mean to say that love isn't there. I think sometimes our ascension also does create a lot of difficulty where we can't articulate, can't get through to what it is. I feel, where you're looking to the past, some of you have done a magnificent amount of work on yourselves, and you're thinking, now that I've done that, am I even going to be able to show my full glory, my full potential to give, to be, to have that positive energy in my life? Am I going to see that? I also feel a lot of you are realizing, maybe through a circumstance that's played out in your life, that we can't shut people out completely. We do need people there. And the nodes shifting are definitely going to bring this up. We may need to be both masculine and feminine in our own lives, but we also can, even if we do have that skill to do such, at times it's okay to accept help. At times it's okay to allow somebody to bring that chivalry into our life in some shape or form. Okay, what is this? There could be a frustration that Some of this behavior has maybe been, it's almost like the poker face energy. Okay, I'm putting on a brave face. I'm dreaming my dream. But it's taken a toll. And I do get from these cards that there is something that divine masculine is going through, that it's really, it's to do with their circular circumstance. And so we can, unintentionally actually have an attachment to it and feel it's going to directly ruin the union. They're asking you to review your help. Now, let's just get into this. There could have been, for some of you, where you have empathized and understood, but regardless, it may not be yours to own, okay? I don't know why I'm getting avatar. There's this avatar feeling to this card. There's going to be peace that returns between the both of you. In your empath energy, you can be channeling something that is almost like you're missing each other. You're like, look, I long for that love. I long for that that dream. A part of the innocence has died to a degree, but it doesn't mean it has gone. It means that you are reaching the acceptance of the adulthood and the viewpoint. And, we tend to dissect the healing. So when we're going through the separation, the healing, we're compartmentalizing. I'm noticing this divine feminine on the card. Something is turning around here, and somebody is going to be supportive to you. You do want divine masculine to be able to be supportive of you. Maybe they were MIA with circumstances they were dealing with at a point. There is a white rose of purity that is going to be offered, but there's some sense of a sacrifice you feel by helping individuals. It has actually hindered some of your forward motion progress. You may be seeing them going through a similar circumstance, and it may grieve you and make you feel as though it is not going to turn around. Each individual is going to be very unique with this. If this is a circumstance that you're seeing and you're like, I'm trying to be understanding and I'm trying to be patient, there is a time and a place to do that. Something has helped you see. I do feel for those of you that have a loved one on the other side, they may be coming through in your dream state. They're trying to guide you. There could have been a request that that person had of you. You need to see whether that is relevant to you, okay? At many times we feel we have to honor those things, but it also has to resonate with you. There is a chapter here that divine masculine is ending. And for some of you, you can be looking at it and going, wow, okay, they're really in the thick of it. They're really struggling. You're taking a different approach. You guys are asking you to know when to show support and when to step back and allow the cycle to rotate, when to say something, when to keep saying it's okay, we'll accept the status quo. There is a dynamic here where they're requiring you to take a fresh perspective. This assurance that you're wanting in this union, there has been a lot of sacrifices you've made. And so it has made you anxious and assessing, is this a good situation to get into? Some of you are feeling the magnitude of change that would be required. You also want to know if they have been able to have a karmic relationship, why can they not with you? Like is there any assurance? And that's really for, a pocket group of you may be on the fence with that. You might be thinking, well, what the heck am I doing here? You're not meant to wait. Let's put it that way. You cannot, in my opinion, and it's an opinion, it are things I have seen with the coaching that I've done with clients, and it is a personal experience through my awakening that I had a revelation with, and doing a lot of research. Okay, so always, choose your guide correctly, and always go back into your intuition regardless of the guide. Sometimes we can get very frightened because our own personal heart is saying, this is the person I choose. And then the energy of rejection makes us go back into our life. We do then feel abandoned, but then we must ask ourselves where it's always a mirror. It's a crazy journey. And it does heal you. Trust me, it does heal you if you allow such to occur. You are having a brand new chapter here. You are realizing there is no promises to anything in this life, but a spiritual connection, from my experience, you literally can't get rid of them. Initially, it can feel quite karmic when the person's coming back and it's a bit messy, but it's teaching you healthy boundaries. It's teaching you to love people unconditionally. It's teaching you that life is very valuable, even if we can have pain body experiences, trials, tribulations, and beauty. There is the commitment here, but what does commitment look like? I even remember going down the rabbit hole and saying, oh gosh, it was a very interesting experience. I met a beautiful guide, and they said, we misinterpreted love for ownership. And, I had to really look at my ego with that and go, no, that is incredibly correct. We do have a friendship with this individual. Have we been treated poorly at times? 100%. Have they been treated poorly? 100%. Does it have to be by you? Not necessarily. And so we inevitably carry those kind of pieces of baggage around, and it does interfere with any connection we have, any hope we have, any, relationship. And so the deeper we go, the higher we ascend. And then there is more social responsibility involved with that. There are sacrifices we make in love. And I'm almost looking at the assuredness of the twin flame connection looking like a hangman position. There are some things you can't sacrifice, I will say that. And there are some things that I believed I would do anything for love, meatloaf. And I had some huge revelations inside myself that it doesn't mean I can, but it does not mean I don't love. So you can say no to circumstances. You are allowed to do such. Some of you that are ready to maybe address this, especially if you are in communication, it's okay to do such. But you're having a relook at love in a very different way. I do see blast from the past with this very, very deeply. There's a lot of reflection here for Divine Feminine. You're going to find it in your heart, but the heart has no ego. Okay, head and heart decision. You're like, is it safe? You're never going to let your body do anything you don't want to give a shot at. Okay. Self-esteem is coming through here, but it's the courage to know, you're lovable. You're worth it. Just don't swing that pendulum to the point that we do what we maybe did years ago and put them on a pedestal. We humanize them, start requiring more. We can, again, put people on pedestals, but we also may have put ourselves on a pedestal to a degree in a critical way. And that could have been that bad self-talk. I'm not worth it. They're always going to choose somebody else. Yes, I have to put up with this because I empathize and understand, whatever that be for you in your own individual circumstance. Self-worth is going to come through. But I see the inner child on this card as we're revisiting this. Some of you are feeling you're walking alone. It's a bit like that walk of shame. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll go. But I don't feel that is the status quo. I do feel somebody is going to indicate they're thinking of you. You could actually be channeling counterparts energy. They're thinking of you and they're like, what have I done? Why have I felt this way? What you're waiting for, your dream come true, is about to be realized. By doing the work is where you get such. But know your truth. This room is temporary. There is an old cycle ending, transitioning. We'll check into divine masculines, come through and take a look. They are asking you to take a different approach. Even if you have to repeat statements, it's okay to do such. I'm seeing tribe and family here. The sacrifices that were made in the past, both divine feminine are having a revelation that their dreams are important. This could be mother-father energy. This could be parenting energy. There is a brand new chapter here, but they are in the here and now in this ether. And their guides and universe is saying, you have a new chapter upon you. It is okay to choose yourself. It's okay to have a look at what is around the corner. Be open to this circumstance. I see divine feminine praying. This can be with her guides connecting to her. This can be with her heart. This can be returning to her heart, taking a moment for herself, trying to find that peace and happiness. And I do feel this is a very changeable circumstance, and definitely between now and May, wow, big changes. Hope to see you next week. Come through and look at Divine Masculine's update and the karmic third party.